Spectre Pride. Let's see how this goes.
And Probe. For the Probe.
Team Spectre.
It's interesting to note that neither of these people have portraits that resemble their race.
Yeah, it's like pretty funny.
Alright, so what do you predict might occur here? Okay, well, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Alright, well, spawning in at the left wing of this map, we have our teal ProudAzn player, ProudAzn. And spawning in at the right wing of this map, we have Scrawny, our red Zerg player. Coming into this matchup, I'm personally expecting a late game macro game, to be honest. I'm not expecting any type of cheese. I mean, I think it's likely we'll see Scrawny do the Mutalisk play, because I think at this low league, when you're reliant on it, it's something you do all the time until you realize that people know how to counter it at the higher leagues. So I think it's all going to come down to Asian's ability to micro around stalkers and keep away the Mutalisks. But this is a total guess. I don't know. What do you think?
Anything goes, really, honestly. This is more of a Terran map, and we don't have a Terran here, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect for this game. I'm tempted to say we might see 4 gates. No, actually, I take that back. A lot of ProudAzn do sort of a takeoff of the Forge Fast Expand, where they do get that top gateway like ProudAzn just planted down, and then they get either a second gateway beside it at the top, or they get their cyber core, and then they start moving down. But it looks like Scrawny is actually late on his pool.
Is that late? I thought that was a 15 pool. Oh yeah, it should be a 14 pool.
Should be a 14.
Right. Well, I don't know, once applied, I don't think that's gonna hurt him too bad in any way.
Yeah, it's true. If he was playing, say, I don't know, if ProudAzn was Axlav, he'd be in terrible doo-doo right now. But, no, this is ProudAzn. I don't know if he's silver or bronze. I didn't actually look. I'll have to figure that one out for you.
In the wise words of Windy, StarCraft's a game of a lot of little things that add up to one big mess. So, a lot of little mistakes.
Oh, Windy.
Yeah, so pool now finishing from Scrawny. I'm interested to find out why he hasn't taken an expand yet, or if he's going in for some kind of one-base all-in play. I don't know, that'd be kind of interesting.
I did just check, and these are both Silver League players. So they both have an idea. In Silver, you do start to get an idea of how this game works. And what did he just fail at? Oh, wow.
He put his cyber core, like, way too far away.
I just looked over, and it's just, like, a mile and a half away.
Oh, jeez, that's a bad wall off, but I don't know. Guess we're gonna have to manage. This Ling run-bys might be a big deal now. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, this not Stalker Zealot is nowhere near any help. He's standing so far away, but it doesn't even look like Scrawny's going to advance right now, because he has stopped at the tower. Oh, maybe I'm incorrect. We do have an expansion coming down, and really ProudAzn has really tapped all his resources to get 2 more gateways and his robo at once.
So, 3-gate robo. Personally, I don't feel 3-gate robo is really effective against Zerg unless you see the Roach Warren go down. Personally, what's your take on it?
I agree with that. It's really situational, but it's difficult to the Overlord scouts the robo. It's really difficult to scout Zerg if you don't have an observer. So it's good to have a robo down for at least that observer, and then if you do see a Roach Warren, then you can go ahead and get the Immortals. I don't know, was he getting there? Yeah, he's getting the observer, which is a good idea. But he unfortunately won't have any scouting on if there might be a Spire or not, because if there is, you could go for Stargate, which Phoenixes are actually very, very good against Mutalisks.
Especially with that new upgrade. You heard about that?
Oh, that upgrade's a failure, no offense.
Is it really? I've never seen someone use it on ladder effectively.
That's why, yeah, it should be an upgrade on the Cybercore, unlocked by placing down another building instead of it being on the fleet beacon. Because by the time the Mutalisks are out, you're not going to have a fleet beacon. It's just not going to happen.
That's very true, actually.
So it should honestly be on the Cybercore. It should. What I think is it should be available for unlock after +1 weapons and armor are finished for air. That's what I personally think. Because it's viable then, I think, or at least just +1 weapons.
You know, I think. Don't you think that might make some kind of one-gate Stargate play that much more effective against Zerg? To the point where Marshall just messaged me and said, "I love the new upgrade for the Phoenix." So
I've never gotten a chance to use it. I've gotten killed by Mutalisks way too quick, or it's just by the point I go to try and get it, there's no point to get it anymore. So, in the words of White Raw, well, I'm not going to say the words he said because it was a little bit foul, but he basically said, no, bad. So,
we finally see the hatchery being morphed into a lair. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because Marshall's messaging me. He's like, "No, the upgrade's amazing because if you scout out the Spire while it's being put down, you can get out the fleet beacon early enough because Spire takes forever to come out."
Well, that, and there is a scouting ability that ProudAzn has that is very underutilized. And
what is that?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hallucinated phoenixes?
Hallucinated phoenixes are by far the best way of scouting out fast, because you can basically run over the entire base and just run into 2 queens and then run out, and if you lose it, you lose it. It didn't really cost you anything but some energy.
Yeah, so, I actually saw people doing that more often at the higher league play about a month ago, but just recently it hasn't been used that much. I actually haven't seen that used at all in recent gameplay.
I think it's a brilliant thing to do, and oh my, we have a Dark Shrine coming down, and there finally the Spire gets dropped down for Scrawny, but at the 10-minute mark? That's late.
It's very late, but I mean, I guess it's still viable. He does look like he has a lot of lings, maybe even enough to take this down just with the lings, assuming the force fields aren't that big an issue. But I don't know. I would prefer to see a Roach play right now, but that's just me.
Yeah, Roach play would be very effective against this composition. There's only one Immortal in the mix.
Ooh, look at these force fields actually. Oh, now they're not so effective, but before they're actually holding off the lings for a good period of time.
Wow, they were pretty good until. Oh wait, might he actually not? No, he is gonna use that Immortal. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. I was like, oh, is the Immortal gonna live? Oh my god! And
yeah, Asian's pretty pissed about that, and I mean, I don't know, he is taking an expand, which is interesting, you know, off a 3-gate robo. You wouldn't necessarily see an expand right away, but now taking directly into DT Shrine. I think that's pretty standard, don't you think?
At this league? Oh yeah, definitely. Ooh, he actually has a 4th pylon at the tower. That's actually a very good plan. Back when I was in Bronze, I used to actually put 4 towers, put 4 pylons around the tower because it would take them that much longer to kill them off, and then I could just warp in units and kill their units while they're trying to kill my pylons. Yeah, it was fun.
That sounds fun. I don't know, one thing as a Terran player people have done to me on this map is by the 3rd base, they'll put a pylon back by the rocks but on the high ground so that, you know, they could warp units directly into your 3rd if you don't scout out that back area, and it screwed me over one time. And it could be pretty effective putting a pylon there, and, you know.
Yeah, pylon in Critical Nooks and Crannies is the best thing. This map is very good for Blink Stalker, by the way, may I point out. I was just thinking of that, because there's this little ledge on the edge of everyone's base that blinks up into a smoke screen, and if you blink in your stalkers, they're not going to get seen right away, and then you just have full-on rain access into the main.
Yeah, right on there. It was funny because the Overseer, as it was moving to the natural, did spot the Observer for a second, and it got shot once by a Queen and then just taken down now by a Spore Crawler. So, little mismicro there by ProudAzn, and it's going to cost him a lot of scouting. I'd like to see if these DTs can actually turn the game around.
Ooh, he still hasn't seen the Spire. ProudAzn didn't see the Spire.
Ooh, morphing these DTs into Archons at the Watchtower because his enemy got out the Overseer. Ugh, I don't know, is this Archon gonna live? I don't think so. Ooh, just barely getting taken off.
I would actually like to see ProudAzn possibly go into... Well, he doesn't know about the Spire yet, but if he knew about the Spire, I'd love to see him go into High Templar to Archon. That would be just, I think, great. But instead, he's going for Colossus.
You know, it might not be the worst thing in the world right now, because, believe it or not, Scrawny has yet to make any Mutalisks and seems to be avidly sticking with the straight-up Zergling play. So for the moment, it might not be a bad thing, but in the long run, the tech might serve to hurt him. I wouldn't agree with making this, actually.
Yeah, I'd actually cancel that robotics bay. Well, I still can, basically, and I would maybe go for a Templar Archive instead. But of course, he has no idea about that Spire. He still hasn't scouted it, and
I mean, I think realistically he could stick just with the Archon infantry play, but he really needs to get his economy up and running, where he doesn't have it coming. So Scrawny's very confident in this, saying, "What are you trying to push me again?" And so, I don't know. 38 more Lings going to be coming out now. Might be enough to completely stomp this army here.
Oh dear God, this is just a massacre.
Scrawny seems pretty BM, if you ask me.
I don't think he's totally BMing. I think he's just trolling. There's a bit of a difference.
Maybe. I don't know.
Second forge? No, that's the first forge. Wow, that's late. That's really late.
Yeah, no upgrades at this point can be devastating.
And now we finally have Mutalisks on the way. With the +1 upgrades, oh god, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. And is he actually teching 2 layers? He is. What is this for?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but
the man.
Lings running up into the natural of ProudAzn, going to be a free reign here with only 1 Colossus out here to stop them. And now Mutalisks on the field, going to be absolutely devastating. No Stalkers out, and these Mutalisks are going to have free reign to take out this Colossus, who's not being watched and is not taking out those Lings.
Oh, bro. Well, I'd like to point out that even though Scrawny is being a little bit, trollish, he is morphing. He was morphing his hatcheries pointlessly into layers. But anyways, that is GG. We shall go into Game 2 in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.